want to actually make actually 3x8 decoder using actually 2x4 decoder. Okay. So what it means you actually suppose you just the only tools that you have here is 2 decoder 2x4, which we already made here. So I'm going to actually draw that decoder. So this is the first one you have, which is 2x4 decoder. So you already know you should have how many inputs. You just have 2 inputs, right? And how many outputs you should have? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is the first one. You have the second 2x4 decoder, which you already know how you could make that, right? We explained that before. This 3x8. So this is actually another decoder that you have. So again, what you expect, just 2 input for 2x4, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 output, which is output is a midterm of the input. So what you want to make, actually, draw the 3x8. What you expect? So whenever you say 3x8, this is what you expect to have, right? So here I just draw the. I don't know what's happened to this. So so here you have decoder, which is whenever you say 3x8, you tell me how many inputs we should have. Just type it on the chat box. 3x8, definitely you have 3. So whenever you have 3, well, how many outputs we should have? 2 power 3, which is 8. Yeah, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you call the inputs start with x0, x1, and x2, so definitely you have midterm 0, midterm 1, and end up with midterm 7, right? So what is the midterm 0? I just write one of them. What is the midterm 0 base of x0, 1, and 2? You already know this should be. So midterm 0 means the both was 0, right? So that means that's midterm. You should be x2, x1, x0. So yeah, the last one should be. Yeah, the last one should be 0, and all of them has prime, right? I'm not writing for the others, you already know that. So, and the last one should be what? x2, x1, x0. Okay, so this is 2. Okay. So this we want to actually design this, but the only tools that we have here is actually 2x4. Let's see how we could use 2x4 decoder and make one 3x8. Okay, so definitely, as you could see here, you should have for 3x8, you should have just 3 inputs. Here, if you consider these two, you have 4. So definitely, you should actually connect some of them together, right? So see, how about this? I connect these two to each other and call this x1, connect x0 to this, and also connect x2 to this. Okay. So right now, if I do that, so I just have 3 inputs. So if I do that, just take a look to this first 2x4 decoder. So the input is x0 and x1. So you tell me, if I write midterm 0, so definitely this is midterm 0, this is midterm 1, this is midterm 2, this is midterm 3. So what should be the midterm 0 base of x0 and x1? Help me to write here. What should be the midterm 0 is what? Yeah, definitely. So you have x1, x0 prime prime. How about x1? x1 should be x1 prime x0. How about 2? Should be x1 x0 prime. How about 3? Should be x1 x0. That's right. So back here to the second one. So one input is x1. The next one is x2. So definitely the output is midterm 0, 1, 2, 3. But this time for this, the input is x1, x2. So you tell me what we should have for midterm 0 based off these two inputs, which is x1 and x2. What we should have? Definitely this time you have x2, x1. Why? Because the input is x1, x2. And the both is prime because that midterm 0, right? So what should be the next? x2 prime, x1. What should be the next? Should be x2, x1 prime. And what should be here, the last one, x2, x1. Okay. So now back to here and see, whenever you have in 3x8, the first one should be midterm 0 is x0 prime, x1 prime, x2 prime. So what you have here, you have xy prime, x1 prime. This actually doesn't have x2 prime. How about this? This has x1 prime, x2 prime. So that means if I AND these two, that means x0 prime, x1 prime with x1 prime, x2 prime. I repeat x1 prime 2 times, that's fine. You're just able to write one of them. So then if you AND this with this, definitely you make actually M0, okay? So that means I'm going to do this. I'm going to maybe with the other color. So yeah, see, I'm going to use one AND gate. So this is the AND gate. Okay, I call this M0 that we have here. The first output of the 3x8 decoder. Okay, now you help me. I need to connect to which of them? Definitely I need x0 prime 1 prime. So this should be connected to this. And the next should be this, should be connected to this. Okay. So that means the output is x0 prime, x1 prime, x1 prime, x2 prime, which is definitely, this should be the M0 here. The output should be x2 prime, x1 prime, and xz prime. Okay. So that's it. You do the same thing for all of them. So you have actually, you need 8. So this is the first one. Then I'm going to actually draw the next one. So this is actually for M1. This is AND gate. So definitely you need another one for M2. Okay. So I'm not going to draw all of them. You could actually take care of the all others. I just have the 2 last bit. So that means I'm going to have here should be, for example, the M6, and let's do M7 too. And you take care of whatever we have between, which is exactly similar with what we did for the others. Should be M7, okay? So help me. I want to actually make M1. Which of these should be connected to this line? Okay, which one? What should be first connection? So you need to check M1. So in this decoder, M1 is what? M1 is X2 prime, X1 prime, X Z. This is M1, right? So that means you need X0, X1 prime, which is this. I connect this to this. What is the next one? Is X2 prime, X1 prime. So that means the next should be again connected to this. So if you add this X1 prime, 2 prime, X1 prime, X0, definitely you have X2, X1 prime, X0. So even I could write here what you get as an output M1. So you will get X2 prime, X1 prime, and X0. Okay. So you tell me what we should connect to the M2. So you tell me which one. So I'm writing here M2 definitely in 3 to 8. What is 2? Is X2 prime, X1, X0 prime, right? So you tell me what should be the first connection to these M2. So you want to make this. This is 2, right? So what is the first connection base of these 8 that you have? You just type it on the chat box. What should be the first connection to this? You want to make M2. What should be the first connection? So you just take a look to M2. So definitely for the first one should be X1, XZ prime, right? X1, X1, XZ prime is this, right? So you actually connect this to this. What should be the next? X1, X2 prime. Find X2 prime, X1, which is this, right? So again, if you double check that, so here you have X0 prime, X1. So here you have X1, X2 prime, which is definitely give you 2, which is X2 prime, X1, XZ prime. Okay. So similar things you take care of M3, M4, M5. I just write 6 and 7. Okay. So back here, what should be the M6? We work on M6. You take care of the rest. So I just do the M6 again. So M6, yeah, help me. What should be the midterm 6 base of these 3? So is X2, which is 4, X1, and X0 prime, right? So you have 1, 2, 4. 4 plus 2 is 6, so it should be 6, right? So back here, the first one should be XY, XZ prime. So where is the X1, XZ prime is this. So I'm going to continue to connect this to this. What should be the next? X1, X2. Where is the X1, X2 is here. So these give you a M6, which is X2, X1, XZ prime, okay? So just you could double check that again. So that's X0, X1, that's right. And this is X2, X1, that's right. So, and the 7 is X0, X1, X2, no prime. So definitely it should be connected by this. And also this. If you add that 2, you will get the M7, which is X2, X1, and X0. Okay. So definitely whenever you want to use 3x8, you consider these units, but as an engineer, you actually know how you could make 2x4 and make the 3x8. So definitely we have some IC actually which you have you have some pins for this and some pins as output which we use that, but you already know how they made these ICs, right? You know the 2 to 4 is just a gate, and then you could combine 2x4 and able to make 3x8. Okay, so this is actually 3x8 decoder. So then you could actually make any decoder, anything that you want. Okay, so for example, you could actually use the 2 4x16 and make one 8 to 226, which is the base is the same thing. Whatever you have here as a tools, which we have 2 by 4. So you just make the midterms here, then and see what you want to make. Okay, definitely all of them, the structure is exactly the same. So you use the decoder that you already have. You have the midterms in the output. Just use the AND gates and combine them, and you are able to make any decoder that you want. Definitely each decoder has one enable pins, which is whenever that's active, the decoder do its normal work. Whenever this is not active, which is not active with the 1, so it's actually the all output is 0 without considering the input. So how we could make this here in our design, you just add these enable, because each of them has one enable, right? So you just need to connect these to enable to each other. So this is what I did, and give its name, which is the enable for these inputs.